you're looking for the best compression packing cube for travel, then this video is for you. I bought and tested 4 different compression travel packing cubes, and I'm going to be going over the pros and cons of each of them. In addition, this video isn't sponsored by any of these compression packing cubes that you see over here. It's all based purely in my opinion. So for these compression packing cubes, I'm going to be testing out packing them and letting you know how I feel about them. So over here, I've got around like 4 days worth of clothes. And so for each of these packing cubes, we're going to be packing it and then I'm going to be letting you know how I feel. Let's go and get started. So the first compression packing cube that we have here is from Bagsmart. So this one comes in a 4-piece or a 6-piece. I've got the 4-piece here. So as far as like the differences between these packing cubes go, obviously you have the size difference. Then here, it looks like this is like a shoe packing cube as well. So I haven't really used this. You just have a drawstring here and kind of close it. So this can be used as a shoe packing cube, basically to cover your shoes and put them in your carry-on so that they don't touch your clothes. That's what this is for. But so neat little addition that Bagsmart gives you. But mainly what we're focused on are these compression packing cubes that you see over here. So with these compression packing cubes, I really love the mesh material. So me personally, I don't like when my clothes are enclosed within a closed space, okay? So what I mean by that is like, if the compression packing cube, if this was all just like solid material, my clothes that I'm putting in there don't get like, they don't get to breathe. So with the mesh material, that's something I always on the lookout for. Here you have like ID cards, so you can kind of label the bags itself, but I kind of feel like that's a bit unnecessary just because you can actually see what's inside the bag, but it's a neat thing to include overall. All the compression packing cubes have a handle attached with them. The zippers, they're long, so with that you can just open it right up, easy to pull. I do like how these open widely completely. This little one here just seems to have like some open pockets as well, and when it comes to organization, but the other two are just open compression packing cubes. So let's actually go ahead and pack this one that you see over here, the largest one, and I'll be letting you know how I feel about it. So I'll actually be packing this with this expandable feature open. So with compression packing cubes, you simply just unzip the expanding feature, and this adds about, I'd say, about a little over 4 inches, possibly like 6 inches. So I'll be packing it with this expandable feature. And there you have it. So right now, this essentially just is a regular packing cube. Now, with the compression feature, what it's going to involve is me actually zippering it down, which I'm not sure it's going to be able to zipper down. So this is what it looks like zippered, okay? So with it zippered, obviously it's compressed more down, saves a little bit of more space, but with it, I mean, it was pretty easy to zip up. 4 days worth of clothes in here, a 4-day trip, handle over here. So overall, very pleased with it. I'd say with Bagsmart, I like the different pieces that they give you. The ID cards, again, I feel like it's a bit unnecessary to put something here just as a label goes. Handles are great. The zippering function is great. It fits a lot of clothes already in one of the packing cubes, and we still have like 2 more to go. But overall, very pleased with it. And let's go ahead and move on to the next compression travel packing cube. So the next travel compression packing cube is from Peak Design. So these ones actually are really, really neat. So first of all, it's very, very lightweight, kind of tied to like what I was mentioning earlier. So with the Peak Design travel packing cube, it is going to be enclosed. So with the zippers, when you zip it up, you've got to zipper up both sides, and I'm going to show you why in a second, okay? So you do have to zipper both sides. It's a bit of a hassle to having to zip this side and this side, but rather most zippers just kind of zip up 360, so you only have to pull once. But the reason why is because of this opening feature. So you simply grab both tabs and you zip it up or unzip it just like that, and it easily opens up like that. So I do love how the flap itself opens up completely to one side. Now, this does come separately, okay? I don't think that this comes in an actual pair together, but this does come separately. But with the Peak Design, one thing I really do love about it also is the aspect in which they include a slot for soiled clothes. So this back zipper that you see over here, this is where you can put your dirty laundry, your dirty socks, your dirty clothes, etc. So they have that neat feature in case you're stuck with only one packing cube. You've got 4 days worth of clothes in here. As you start to use those clothes, you can still put them in this back pocket here. Now, I don't think the amount of clothes that are going to fit in here are going to fit in this back pocket here, but it is still a neat way to kind of pack soiled clothes, just because for me, I've kind of wondered sometimes, where do I put my soiled clothes? And Peak Design has thought about that, all right? So let's actually go ahead and pack this packing cube, and I'll be letting you know how I feel about it. Now, just like the other compression packing cubes, I am going to be leaving this unzipped. And again, with the Peak Design zippering, you do have to zipper both sides. So here we have the Peak Design compression packing cube packed up. Now, if we actually zip up the compression side. Let me find the zipper. Let's see how that works out, okay? So we're zippering it up. The zipper is quite easy, okay? So this is what it looks like. Now, it's not a completely enclosed packing cube, okay? You can kind of see like there's some air in there. I do wish this was mesh material though, so I can see what's inside the bag. I do wish there was a handle as well, but overall it's extremely lightweight. You do have some handles over here, but they don't really seem like they're meant to be handles. It's kind of like upside down, but I think it kind of works out. I'm sorry, I'm used to kind of the handle being up top where the zippers connect. But overall, I'd say Peak Design has thought of a lot of things. Again, stored clothes go back here. But overall, I'd say very pleased with this one. Let's actually go ahead and move on to the next compression packing cube. So the next travel compression packing cube we have is from Aerotrunk. So this comes in a 4-piece. Right off the bat, I really love how the entire side is an open, breathable mesh material. In addition, the actually outside stitching and ridges, it feels very high quality and sturdy compared to like that flimsy, thin material that most other packing cubes use. Now, when you actually go ahead and open this up, again, I'm very impressed with how this packing cube works. So you've kind of got like foldable walls within itself, but this is what it looks like. You can kind of expand it out. The material itself feels absolutely great. If we open up the expandable feature, I'd say it adds like well over about 5 inches in terms of the expandable feature goes. So this is actually quite neat. I'd say this feels very high quality. Let's actually go ahead and pack the largest one up with about 4 days worth of clothes. And here, again, I like how this breathable mesh material, it just shows you what's inside. There's no need for fancy ID cards. There's no need for fancy labeling. They keep it simple with the high quality material. I would just say like with the Aerotrunk packing cubes, these might be ever so slightly a bit heavier compared to other packing cubes, but that's because of the material that they use. And overall, I'm actually very pleased with the material that they use just because it feels a lot more high quality and durable. But let's actually go ahead and pack this cube up while its expanded feature is open. So here we have the Aerotrunk compression packing cube packed up. I don't know if it's going to close. Okay, so how I packed this cube is the same exact way how I packed the other cubes. I love how the flap completely opens and it's not just some like half open flap. But let's actually go ahead and zipper it up and see if it compresses down. So this one's having a bit more of a harder time as far as the compression aspect goes. So if you're into like how much your packing cube can actually handle, this one may not be able to handle 4 days worth of clothes. This is essentially what it looks like. Before I'm kind of getting worried like it might not be able to close or the zipper might break or something. But it's a bit more difficult just because of the size of the travel compression cube goes. So essentially what I would do is probably take some clothes out of here and then place it, for example, in one of these other packing cubes. So I wouldn't say like let that be the make or break for this compression packing cube in particular, just because again, I'm very pleased with the actual openness of the mesh material, very pleased with the actual quality of the design and the material itself as well. But overall, I would say less clothes is needed in here in order for it to get more compressed down. But if you weren't too worried about the actual compression aspect, I mean, this works just fine. It keeps your clothes organized. You've got the open mesh material. This works completely fine, and I would honestly be happy with this. This will easily fit in a carry-on. But let's go ahead and move on to the next compression packing cube. So this is the Eagle Creek compression packing cube. So these are extremely lightweight. They're a little bit translucent so you can see what's inside the bag itself. You've got handles up top. Again, these are extremely lightweight compared to the other compression packing cubes we've used. Now, one thing I don't really like about it is that it's got like a half open zipper compartment, so you do have to kind of like tuck your clothes in there compared to it being completely open. I can tell it's like weather resistant. I can tell the material is well made, well sturdy as well. It comes in a pair of 2, but let's go ahead and actually pack this cube up and I'll be letting you know how it feels. So here we have the Eagle Creek compression packing cube packed up. Right now the expandable feature is on. It was a bit harder than other compression packing cubes to actually pack in just because that sleeve didn't open up all the way. Zippering it was fine, but now let's actually try and compress it down. And right now, right off the bat, we are having a bit more difficulty, or I'm having a bit more difficulty when it comes to actually compressing this down. So if you're interested, if you're more concerned about like, the size, can you actually fit more clothes in your packing cube? This may not be the choice for you, but again, with the handle, with the actual weatherproof resistant material that this is made of, this is still a good compression packing cube, but compared to the others, I would probably leave this on the ladder. But overall, I was able to technically fit 4 days worth of clothes in here. It does keep it organized. Comes in a pair of 2. So for the best overall compression travel packing cube, I gotta give it to Peak Design. So with Peak Design, these packing cubes, they literally think of everything. I just wish that you can actually see what's inside, but I'll take that counterpart for being able to actually open up the entire flap of my packing cube. I love the zippered aspect in which you can just pull it open very easily. A little negative thing is that you have to zipper both sides of the packing cube, but overall, this fits a lot of clothes. It was able to fit 4 clothes easily, and it was able to compress my clothes even easier. So with this, I'd say Peak Design is the best overall travel compression packing cube. I also like how it has that neat back zipper to kind of put soiled clothes in there as well. Okay, so soiled clothes go back here. The design looks great. It's lightweight. The zippers are very easy to use. Best overall, I gotta give to Peak Design. Now I do want to give a special mention to Aerotrunk. So with Aerotrunk, I really love the quality of these travel compression packing cubes. Now, although the Aerotrunk travel compression packing cube wasn't able to compress 4 days worth of clothes down, I wouldn't say that's a make or break, just because compression packing cubes, they don't really save that all too much space compared to just regular packing cubes. So this works just completely fine as a regular packing cube. I mean, just look at it. I love the open mesh material just because with me, I don't like when my clothes are enclosed within a bag itself and they're not able to breathe and such. So the mesh material is great. It allows me to see what's actually within the packing cube itself. It comes in 4 different pieces, and just the material itself feels absolutely great. And again, these are able to compress down. So you see just like that. But with it though, I'd say special mention to this one just because I'm very pleased with the material, and it comes in a pair of 4, and the breathable mesh material, gotta give it to Aerotrunk as a special mention.